Muzz, first home game to start the league campaign in 7 years, and I bet you would have settled for that before the game. 2-1 against Cribs.
Yeah, 100%. You were looking for a performance, but you always want a result on the first day of the season. If you get a result, obviously it doesn't mean everything, but also it's a start. It builds momentum, and I thought tonight we put on a performance, and we were well worthy winners.
Yeah, so fell behind in the first half. I guess that would have been disappointment after all the pressure you'd had.
Yeah, I think it's been a story of our pre-season though. But we've done a lot. We've talked a lot about our mentality this year and how we're going to go about things, and what we want to do and what we want to achieve, and how how that's going to work. And I said at halftime, we've been down every time we've been down this year. You've had a belief. We knew we were going to score tonight. That's at halftime. We said we'll get a chance. We will score. It's just whether we can hold it out the other end. And like I said, I was really pleased to get the win, the performance, and the goals.
I guess what I observe, and I don't know if you'd agree, is that felt like a performance with massive amounts of intensity, both on and off the ball.
Yeah, it was huge. The energy levels. A lot of people, I've passed a few people, just after the game, though, the guys are doing a warm down. They're all saying the energy levels, the commitment, the desire. But like I said, that intensity to, work hard for each other off the ball, dig in for each other off the ball. But and when we got it, we're actually quite intense with the ball, because we moved it very quickly, and it caused them a lot of problems.
Yeah, I guess the disappointment with the first goal was it was a set piece, that great header, but that looked like a bit of an Achilles heel. Second half, though, I thought we defended the set pieces really well.
Yeah, we had a little chat half time how we were going to sort of deal with and mid game, and then you hope that the guys you can compete with them. I mean, like I said, it was a great header. It was a great ball, great header, and you just feel, that's a bit of a sucker punch. But to be fair to the guys, they didn't stop believing in the way that we were wanting to play, didn't stop believing in what we were trying to do, and we kept creating chances. And so I would be disappointed if it was 0-0 at half time. So to come in 1-0 down, obviously, we were disappointed with the scoreline, but definitely not the performance.
And then the second half, I thought, was exceptional. What a great header from Harley to off a great cross from Eli to make it 1-1.
Yeah, Harley, to be fair, one of his strengths is in the air. He is good, he's brave. He gets on the end of things. I think he's had a few chances tonight. He's had shots, he's got in the box. So really pleased for him, playing in midfield where he's been playing fullback recently. Great knock from Eli. To keep the ball alive off a corner. We've been saying that for the last 18 months. If it doesn't, the first thing doesn't happen, if you keep it alive and you keep putting balls into areas, you're going to get chances, and that proved the case tonight.
And then the winner, Harley actually played his part, lofting it into the box. I think Ollie Barnes was a nuisance, and it fell to Carnell, and that was a great finish.
Yeah, I think it was a great move. I think we won it in our own half. We ran stretched the length of the pitch. And it did come back to Harley. It wasn't the greatest ball in the world. The keeper didn't come for it. I say Ollie was a nuisance, but the technique to finish that, that's years of practice. That's ability. That's a great finish.
Yeah, and one of the things we talked about pre-season when we spoke was about the stability in the squad. Really fantastic to see that. I think you'd agree, but. I thought as well, Callum McLean debut at right back, the one debutant tonight, I thought was very good as well.
Yeah, really pleased for him. It's been difficult to bring players in. It's one of those pre-seasons when there's a lot of rumours and a lot of things flying around about what people are doing here, there and everywhere. We've just sort of kept ourselves to ourselves. If the right person comes along, yes, we'll be interested, but it's got to fit in with the group and the ethos of the team. We've got a spirit in there that we knew we had, and like I say, the pre-seasons proved that we, adding the right players, plucking them out from the county league. We did it with Corey last year, from Northern Senior. We don't just try and get experienced players in. We try and bring players from other clubs and give them an opportunity, and hopefully Callum will have a very good season this year.
And I guess you'll now be looking forward to the weekend, Hartpury in the Emirates FA Cup. That's always a great occasion, isn't it?
It's always a great occasion, and it always ends in defeat. So for me, I think it's one of those that we won our first game of the season for a long time. Why can't we go and take the shackles off like we did today, and go and enjoy go enjoy the day, but give them a right go. They went up as worthy champions last year. Not so sure what sort of squad they've got. That it will be their first game. Competitive game. It will, they might have had some in-house games. I'm sure they have. Their first competitive game, so we might have a little bit of an edge. But obviously, we've got to manage some weary legs, because, like I said, that performance and intensity tonight, we might need to just freshen it up a little bit.
And then just in closing, if you'd have visualised tonight's game before it started, could it have been much better?
No, to be fair, like I said, I got here, I was a little bit nervous. Wasn't sure what I was going to say to the lads, and I've been and I'm writing a few things down in the day. But you look at it and you think, if we get off to a good start, build that confidence. What are our ambitions? And like I said, for 75 minutes, other than the goal, I thought it was a really good night. And I think just that little bit, all we need to do now is that game management, that little bit more. Where we are young, I said, I'm not sure what the average age with the team was tonight, but where we are young, can we learn, in those final stages, just how to kill a game off, and then that would have been a perfect performance. But like I said, that's it. That's an 8.5 out of 10. So I'm really pleased with that.
Great stuff. Cheers, mate.